Hello again, everyone, and welcome inside another edition, number 30, the Adam Jones podcast, the Cedric Mullins edition, although he's not our guest this week. He will be again later. Adam's wearing his Lakers shirt for the fourth time in like the last 5 weeks. Don't worry, that won't last much longer, AJ. That's coming to an end real soon. But we're going to talk about, not the NBA playoffs, the impact of Shohei Ohtani, who made his annual appearance at Camden Yards this week. In fact, our special guest is an Oriole. It's Orioles first baseman Ryan Mountcastle, and he is just around the corner. In addition, Adam's going to react to the Orioles breaking out these city jerseys. He has some opinions on those. And the bird bath concept. Interesting, $20 to get sprayed in the face by a water hose. It's working well for the Orioles. I will say that. Great marketing plan. And, of course, Adam will have another edition of Socially Speaking where we answer one of your tweets or posts via Facebook or Instagram. You can always find us on social media at Adam Jones Pod. But before we bring in Ryan Mountcastle, AJ, I got to do a little rant. This used to belong to you, but I just got back from Sarasota. And I got to say, electric cars, no bueno. No. And the reason being is that I was on partially a vacation. I went to the counter. I'm not going to mention the company. And they go, oh, you're in luck. We have electric cars for you. And I'm like, great. I've never driven one. I will say this. They accelerate unbelievably. But here's the issue. Not enough charging stations. I spent half of my time looking for a charging station. Now, if you have one at your home, it's a lot easier. But it seems like they're making these cars more quickly than they are putting up charging stations.
Well, how much are you driving? First off, if you're just doing a rental, you should. How much are you driving?
I went to Tampa for one day, so it cost a lot.
That's gonna do it. Yes, but they should have an app for where they're going, and obviously inside the car they should have where stations are. But yes, they are fewer and far in between than a normal gas station. As a rental car, I probably would never rent that, but. Yeah,
well, the price was right, as you know, with me. The price was very right.
Yeah, that's why. And you didn't want to pay for gas. So I'm glad that
it was $10 extra. Yeah, $10 extra for a car with gas. And now I have regrets because I should have done that.
For how much? For how many more hours? It's probably $10 for maybe 2 hours of your time.
No, it would have been like $60 extra for the amount of time I was renting the car.
Oh, come on, Jerry.
It was a big mistake. So I guess I'm going to be going back to the Valley Exxon and see our friends Tim and Mike Reuter because I'm done with these electric cars for now, and we're done talking about it. Let's bring in our featured guest. He is the Orioles first baseman, friend of the podcast. He is Ryan Mountcastle. Ryan, appreciate you taking the time on what is a game day, but we do appreciate you taking the time. Now, when it comes to Adam Jones, you guys had a brief crossing of career paths. What do you recall about the time you spent around Adam when, you were coming up and he was on his way out?
Yeah. No, I was young, man. I was probably 19, 20. And, I was in big league camp a little bit here and there. And I was, scared out of my mind to, talk to anybody. I was a young kid. I was over in the other clubhouse hanging out with my, 4 or 5 other minor league guys that were in big league camp. And, Adam's always a super cool guy. And, I was obviously a little intimidated being 19, 20, man, talking to all those veteran guys and seeing them and, superstar players like that. So, but they always welcomed me with open arms, and it was a great time.
I want to ask about that time. Oh, first of all, I appreciate that,
man. Thanks for saying the nice. I was hoping there was going to be a negative story.
No. I always try to show young guys love because I remember being a young guy and some older dudes was like, hey, man, treat them young guys good because they're going to be taking your job. So you want them to take it later than sooner. I want to ask about this because you're an infielder by trade. We stuck you in the outfield and forced you to go out there. And that's not easy, especially we got Davis, we got Mancini. It's really tough to be like, go to the outfield and we want you up quick because everybody keeps on this kid Mountcastle, some bitch can hit. We need him up as soon as possible. He can hit, but he can't play first base. And I'm getting older. I can't run as good as I used to. So how was that switch? Because I went shortstop to center field.
Yeah.
I think center field is a lot easier because you're in the middle. But how was that, emotionally, not just between the lines, but emotionally because I'm a slugger. Now you got to put me out here where I'm really unfamiliar, so psychologically that can hurt.
Yeah, it was tough. So I was in AAA at the time, and it was like the last month of the season. I was hoping to get called up. I was having a pretty good year, and out of nowhere, they're just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna stick you in left field this last like month or so." And I was like, "All right." Like I finally started to feel comfortable at first. It was like my first full year playing there. I was feeling good, and I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll try outfield now if that's what we need." Because I mean, I knew we had CD and Trey over there, so I was like, I get it. And no, I felt pretty good, when I first got out there, and then people. I don't know, it's tough. You're in Yankee Stadium in left field, man. It's not easy, and yeah, it's especially with big crowd there. I wasn't super comfortable in the outfield, but at first base, I always felt comfortable, and I missed a ball here and there, and just sort of, I don't know, it wasn't for me. And I told Skip, I was like, yeah, I don't think outfield's for me, man. I just want to stay in the infield, and I was like, I don't think this is it.
So fast forward, how comfortable are you at first base now? I mean, obviously you're the everyday first
Yeah,
baseman. How comfortable are you over there now? I know you move well. I mean,
yeah,
it's you use CD's glove.
yeah.
That's a big mitt too. He's got some
Yep.
big mitts. But just fast forward, how comfortable are you now that I'm locked in as a first baseman? I get the DH some days, but I'm locked in every day as a first baseman.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that left field wall, that Hayes, and all them guys to worry about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still got to worry about it. It's just offensively, not defensively.
True, very true.
No, but I feel comfortable over there. I mean, I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and it's a little bit different this year without the shift. Some of those balls to the right, you're used to just going straight back to the bag, but you got to go out there and try to dive and get them. But besides that, yeah, all the new rules, they're a little interesting, but yeah, I like it. Feel comfortable and get a bunch of work in there every day.
Ryan, it really looks like you guys are having a blast as a team. Of course, winning helps aid that, but
Yeah,
some of the different ideas, the homer chain's gone away. You had the homer hose going. I don't know what you guys call it these days. Now we have the bird bath out there in left field, and it looks like the fans are starting to embrace all this as well. So it's a combination of the players having their thing and the fans also having a different thing. Your reaction to those two, I don't want to say shenanigans, but they're motivators, I think, for the fans and for the players.
yeah. The bird bath has me dying. Mr. Splash or whatever his name is out there cracks me up. And no, it's I think the fans are loving it, and our team is loving it too. It's definitely a great time whenever we're out there.
We've got more ahead with the Orioles first baseman Ryan Mountcastle here on the Adam Jones podcast. But first, let's pause and hear from our dedicated, loyal sponsors we hope you support.
The Adam Jones podcast is brought to you by Be More Around Town, which is now booking for their #Orange road trips to Atlanta, Wrigley Field, San Francisco, which includes a pit stop in Napa Valley, and Yankee Stadium, among others. Learn more now at BeMoreAroundTown.com. By the very respected folks at the Weinman Company. By Hollywood Casino Perryville. To some, it's a game of chance, but for you, it's a game of choice. Hollywood and Barstool are bringing you more ways to bet in Maryland. Catch all the action in person at Hollywood Casino Perryville at the Barstool Sportsbook, or bet online with the Barstool Sportsbook app. When you download the Barstool Sportsbook app, register and wager, and you can get up to $1,000 bonus cash. Plus, get up to $1,000 when you sign up and wager in person at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Play from anywhere and get up to $2,000. The choice is yours. Must be in the state of Maryland to wager and over 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgambling.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. By Jack Daniels, 2 legends, 1 can. Jack and Coke, the #1 cocktail in the world, is now available in a can. Yes, it's true. Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar are now both available in a can. 2 legends, 1 can. Jack and Coke. Ready to drink? Please drink responsibly. Whiskey Specialty, 7% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, Lynchburg, Tennessee. By G-Leaf Medical Cannabis Company. Visit gleaf.com. gleaf.com offers free delivery. Medical cannabis is for Maryland patients only. And the Baltimore Banner. The Banner is offering 6 months of unlimited digital access for only $1. To get started, visit thebaltimorebanner.com/AJ.
We continue here with Ryan Mountcastle, Orioles first baseman, here on the Adam Jones podcast.
How much fun is it right now? Because the last couple of years, obviously, it's growing pains. You were part of a rebuild. I was part of a rebuild when I first got to Baltimore. It was painful. It hurt bad. Stomped a mud hole nightly. But then when we gained success, gained some confidence, you're still young, but you can consider one of the vets on the team. You, Mullins, obviously having Gibson there.
Yeah.
How has this change been when you got 11,000 fans? Now you got 27,000 fans on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I remember back in 21 when we were struggling and you had a sort of a rough year, and just going to the field, Monday through Thursday, it was just, I mean, if I wanted to spot my family out in the crowd, it was very easy to do that. And yeah, and even, sometimes those Sunday day games, I mean, Friday and Saturday, you'll get a decent crowd here and there, depending who you're playing back then. But for the most part, you weren't getting more than 10,000. And it seems like every day now we're getting, 15, 20. And it's, on the weekends, I think we had like 36 or 37 yesterday for a day game. I was like, this is nuts. So it's been a lot more fun. And, it makes you, when you get like a big hit, you hear a couple woos, back in 21. Now it's like you hear the whole stadium erupt. It's super cool.
Is that something you guys talk about as a team? Like you look out when you come out of the dugout and see a sparse crowd when the Rays were in town and they were the best team in baseball, but it seems like it's picking up. But do you guys talk about that internally?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you got certain teams that travel better than others, like, Yankees, Red Sox, and a lot of people like to see Ohtani and Trout. So certain teams will bring some more, different fan bases. But when we walk out and it's a Monday against, a smaller market team like the Rays or, even the Pirates sometimes, like teams like that, it's the crowd's not going to be too crazy.
You guys are all young. You guys are hungry. Who's leading? Who is Mullins the leader of the pack? Is obviously Rutschman is the catcher and the most popular, obviously.
Yeah. I think, in the clubhouse, some of the veteran guys, Gibson and McCann, some of those guys, if you want to say, leader per se, like I'd maybe look to those guys. But for the most part, we're all just, boys in the clubhouse. Like we're all cool with each other. I wouldn't say one person in particular stands out, but like, if something needs to be called out, it'll be called out. And I think all of us are just, a super cool group and all good friends together and respect one another. So I don't know if like one particular guy is the captain, but I guess Gibby and McCann, some of these guys have been around a little bit longer. They always have some good advice. But for music, clubhouse, vibes, usually McKenna's the guy on the DJ.
Hey, I like that.
Because I don't think anybody else wants to deal with it. So he's always like, oh, dude. So it just depends on the day, man. I think Sundays he'll like chill it out a little bit, just more of a chill vibe. And then Saturday night, we're banging in there. So
100%.
Yeah, it's loud, it's bumping in there. So no, it's fun.
All right, staying inside the clubhouse, maybe you can identify this person. Who's the biggest prankster inside that clubhouse? Who seems to be pulling off the most pranks? And you got to watch, your back with this person because you never know what's coming next.
I don't know yet. I'm trying to think. There was definitely more of that. I feel like when Adam was in here, I remember Kashner took all my clothes out of my locker one day. And,
Andrew Kashner?
Yeah.
How'd you handle that?
Yeah, it was actually, I got sent down that day and I got back to my locker and all my clothes were gone. I was like, oh, they already packed it up for me. And like, there was a couple of people who were like, no, I'm pretty sure Kashner hid all your clothes. I'm like, oh God. But I don't know. As on the team right now, I would say there aren't that many pranksters. There's pretty funny guys, but I think we leave each other alone for the most part.
I want to talk about being part of a core. How awesome is that, being part not just of a rebuild, but just of a really good young group that's all hungry?
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. All these young guys are they're freaks. They're really good, and ever since they all started coming up, it just seems like our play's been getting a lot better. And I'm excited to see all these young guys get up here and show what they got. And due to some tough years in the past, it's helped us build what we got today. And with Rutschman, Gunner, there's a bunch of guys in the minors. I know Kowser's a good dude too, and some pitching, Grayson, some of those guys. I mean, they're just almost seems like these younger kids are getting so good nowadays. It's wild, but no, feels great, and I know the city's super excited about it.
Well, I know people are excited about Ryan Mountcastle bobblehead night. Earlier, we talked about the bird bath, and Adam and I are going to talk about that a little bit later, and the City Connect jerseys. I don't know if you've seen them or approved them yet. Do you know if that's going to be a real thing yet, or is it still up for discussion, Ryan?
What's that face?
Oh, bro, I hope you haven't seen them. They look like jerseys that you just get off a flea market. You're a Floridian, man. But it looks like they got those right off next to some one of those RV places. They're terrible.
All right, well, that wasn't my question, but now you know, and maybe you can add your 2 cents when they show them to you. But I want to ask you about the bobblehead. I mean, you had one in the minor leagues. I don't know how much input they give you when you're a minor leaguer, but when you're a major leaguer, did you get editorial control whatsoever? Adam had his.
No, they didn't give me nothing. They just showed me my bobblehead, and that was it. I wasn't too upset with it. It's pretty cool looking, so as long as I don't look too ugly on the thing.
How many are you going to surround yourself with? I mean, can you put 100 in your house?
No, I'm not a big bobblehead guy, but my wife would probably kill me if I had 100 of them. But no, I mean, I might keep my own and just have it in the office or something.
Oh, they're fun to have.
They are fun to have.
Yeah, so before we let you go, Daz, impact of CD and Mancini. Obviously, CD was going through his things, and I was at the beginning of it. He still was awesome. I didn't get to see the ending. You were around him. And then Mancini, which took over, and then, you guys played together. The impact of both of those gentlemen who, I respect highly.
Yeah. So when I was younger, when I was coming up in the minor leagues, and I really got to talk to CD in spring training because I don't know, I think one of my lockers was next to him or something, but he was always just like the nicest guy ever. He's legit goofball. I'm like, he's this massive dude, he's probably around 30 at the time. I'm like, I'm not talking to this guy. Like, I'm keeping my head down, walking past him. He's like, "What's up, man? How you doing, man?" Like, just goofy. I'm like, okay, maybe I can't talk to him. Like, he's sort of like me a little bit, but no, super nice guy, and always, was just in a great mood in the clubhouse, and nothing but respect for him. Great player, great person. And then Trey, obviously got to play with him a bunch, and same way, just super nice, and always was helping me out on and off the field. And whenever I had a question or just anything about baseball, I go to him, and super nice guy, and definitely showed me a lot coming up.
All right, we'll end on a light note. Not that this has been a hardcore or troubling interview for anyone, hopefully. I wanted to know, I was curious, your favorite road trip spot, and tell us why it's your favorite destination. You guys, and now you get to go everywhere.
I know. There's some place I haven't been yet. I heard San Diego's pretty cool. I haven't been there yet.
Of course.
Yeah.
He can fill you in on that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like, as of right now, a lot of them are in division. I like Boston and Toronto. Those are, two really nice hotels we stay at, and then a bunch to do around there. But yeah, I'd probably either Boston or Toronto. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well,
two great cities.
What was yours?
Can't argue here.
Toronto food, Seattle food.
Yeah.
Chicago, obviously food. Mine's is based around food.
Yeah.
And then when I start playing with Kim, it based it around Korean barbecue. So Chicago took over, then Dallas took over.
Yeah.
And I know every Korean barbecue. LA. Every time we go to Anaheim, since we didn't go to LA a lot, I would just even take a car up to LA just to go to this one Japanese or a Korean barbecue restaurant because it was that good. So everything's based around food with me and my life. So yeah, I'm glad I work out.
Ryan, really grateful for you taking the time. Yes. I will say, good karma being on this podcast, because our last Orioles guest was Kyle Gibson. After he was on this podcast, went out, had a career high in strikeouts. Hopefully the karma rubs off on you.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have a career high in strikeouts.
Hey,
No,
man,
we
they
don't
have
want that.
One
We don't
for
want that.
five with 4 Ks. Man, what fun.
I wish we
Yeah.
Next time you
Hey.
hit 3 home runs in a game, we'll just take credit for that.
Yes, I love it.
100%.
I love it.
All right.
You can. It's all good.
Thanks for
All right.
coming on, man.
Yes,
Appreciate
thanks, guys.
it.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck
Appreciate
to
it.
you.
All
Now,
right.
Adam, he was great. And as I said at the top of the interview, your career paths didn't cross over too much.
No.
But you do have some memories of the guy as he was, again, coming up and afraid to talk to you. I can understand what that's all about. I feel that every week.
Well, he's moving to a new position, and I guess guys didn't want to come and talk to the incumbent center fielder. I mean, me, but I just told everybody in the lines, hey, make sure you spread the lines out, and if you don't, because in practice, you run. Our camps, I swear, our camps in spring training were ran like Major League back in the day, where you ran old school poles, you ran old school sprints. Kirby he's like, look, man, I don't want y'all to do this. So in our outfield, we gonna run. Okay, we gonna run. So we ain't got to do this BS running afterwards. So in our outfield drills, I tell everybody, hey, look, man, stop, because every time the line always gets narrower and narrower, and then guys are like 10 feet from each other. I got it. No, when we start out 60 feet, man, go at 90 feet. And keep this distance. Keep working. So we don't have to do this stuff later, man. Knock it out now. And I remember when he's coming out to the outfield, very nervous. And I was like, hey, man, just call the ball, okay? Just call the ball and hit the cutoff man. Don't worry about nothing else. Obviously, we didn't talk too much because, he's on field 4. I'm on field 1. But I just remember hearing about him. Like, this kid is ready. His power is ready. His bat is ready. And when you hear things like that, that's great because that means that he's ready to be there. But it sucks at the same time because we have somebody there. We have somebody in that position. And then at the same time, Mancini's in left field. Mullins is knocking on the door at center field. Santander is already there. It creates a problem because his position was first base. And Buck is not going to allow anything bad defensively. So he makes sure that you're 150% ready to play defense in the major leagues.
Let's turn the page. And For the Birds is our next segment here on the Adam Jones podcast. And you reacted very strongly via social media, and you were not alone when the Orioles broke out a picture of these custom-made City Connect uniforms, which are going to be unveiled really and worn at the end of this month. There seemed to be a lot of backlash towards that, and you had some strong opinions.
Well, I don't know if those are official, so I can't confirm those are official. I cannot confirm that.
Nope.
But someone tweeted out, and you obviously seen the ties. They put the Orioles on it. To me, those jerseys look like something you find at Security Mall in like one of those like just shops that's just like just the off shops. You know
pop-up
what I'm saying?
shop, like a kiosk.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And Reggie know about Security Mall. My wife know about Security Mall.
I know about Security Mall. I used to drive my bike there when it was safe.
Yeah, right. I don't know you. You don't know if you know about security. But those, I mean, again, I can't confirm that, but I don't know who does City Connects. I just want those jerseys, whoever does them, no matter the team, to have someone who has a group who has a strong influence in the city to be able to do it. Like, I get there's terrific designers all over, and I get it that you just give someone a project and they can create a Laker sign, or they can create this emblem, or they can create, no matter where they're at. I just, hopefully something, the 26th, I believe.
27th, I believe, yeah.
27th, will be revealed. So I hope that.
No, you had it right first. Sorry,
26.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope that the people that are seeing this realize that the old center fielder is hot about it, and I'm sure.
I'm sure they saw that on social media. I think
it looked like a D-block jersey.
That. Yeah,
it looked like a jersey. I'm telling you, it looked like a jersey that costs $15.99. Look like if you know the stores, K-Momo, any of the outlets, a Run the Meals outlet. It looked like one of them shirts you get there. Like jerseys just get there with no name on the back. And it was just the Orioles thing that if you wash once, like just starts to slide off. So, hey, personally, I hope those aren't it. I can't confirm that. But, man, if they are, I'll be hot.
Well, time will tell. We will see. One thing that is that seems to be working right now, and it's kind of an odd concept, but it's ingenious. I mean, they could have done this 15 years ago at Camden Yards. The bird bath. And it debuted the night that Cedric Mullins hit for the cycle. 7th Oriole will never do that. way to go said. We look forward to having you
Unbelievable.
back on the podcast. But how about the fact that this bird bath has sold out for at least 3 games and maybe more as, other teams come to town? People like the concept. And as we get into the warmer months, people are going to need some hydration. And that's what the Orioles are about, hydration, as Ryan Mountcastle was telling us.
Well, I mean, as always, Mr. Bansales likes to say, if you're thirsty, it's too late. So, honestly, I think it's terrific. It's showing that you're involving the fans. First off, you're winning, which is the utmost importance. And you're having fun winning. This is a fun style of winning. They play small ball. They steal bases. They take the extra base. They force things to happen. It's a fun, exciting game. Sometimes, they give you a heart attack. It's a fun, exciting game. But that they're having so much fun, and they're winning ultimately, and they're winning in such dramatic fashion. Again, the first couple innings, you never know, but the last 3 innings, I said they are the hardest 9 outs to get in baseball right now. It is tough to get. Them and the Rays right now are the hardest 9 outs, I think, to get. Obviously, you can include the Dodgers because they're just tough as nails always is, but they're so hard to get in the last 9 outs, and that's just a test to just how they play the game. So, and again, they're winning fun, and to have that kind of enjoyment, again, they have the sprinkler, to have the hose, hopefully they don't run out of water. One day, if I'm ever there, I'll do it. I'll switch it out for some booze, just spray that up there. But no, it's fun, man. It's fun. A lot of teams are doing a lot of different things. It's fun. Again, when you can incorporate the fans and things like this, again, it's a price you pay. Fans understand that, and I'm sure they're not wetting people even further. But again, on a hot day out there, you're drinking a cold beer, man. You hoping for some excitement. As a fan, as the center fielder back in, remember them days, I would love if one of the bullpen guys or the grounds crew had just a hose like every inning, just like, hey man, just give me just a nice little breeze up there. I would love that. So again, you're incorporating the fans, and you're winning. Keep it going.
Well, you used to throw pies in players' faces, and occasionally a fan for the right situation. But would you enjoy being the chief hydration officer for a game in Mr. Splash? We got to show pie in the face again there. If you're watching on YouTube, have a laugh. But would you assume that job?
Bad posture. 100%. Why wouldn't I have fun out there? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I have fun? We can make it fun. You can, auction off the tickets for, the prices, whatever, for charity or do something. But no, it's fun, and who doesn't like to have fun? You know what I'm saying? And the guys are young. They're having fun. They have no idea what they're really getting into, and that's the best part. They're just out there hungry. They're hungry every night. They don't. It seems like, I'm not in the clubhouse, but it seems like they play for tonight opposed to, we got a series next week. Let's play. No, they play for tonight and tonight only, and I love it. They play balls to the wall, and they're yielding great results because they play hard. And I tell my kids the same thing. If you play hard, you give effort, good things will happen. If you don't, I can guarantee you bad things will happen. So they are playing hard, and they're giving effort every single inning and night. So it's fun. Keep the bird bath going.
They are making a splash, pun intended.
Yeah,
no doubt about
for sure.
it.
Hopefully a ball hits the guy, whoever's sitting there. Hopefully it ain't me if I ever do that.
Oh, I believe me. I won't get a press pass. I will buy a ticket the night you are Mr. Splash.
Yeah, right. I guarantee you call me. Can I get 2 extra? It's only you.
Maybe I'll call the Orioles. Anyway, that's about time to head beyond Baltimore, where Adam traditionally is, although he will be in Baltimore at some point coming soon. Stay tuned for that announcement.
Yeah.
And as we head outside Baltimore, every time you hear the name Shohei Ohtani, Baltimore's own Babe Ruth is referenced. Why? Because they're the only 2 I know of that pitched and hit. And, I don't know about the comparisons, but I love the way Ohtani pitches. I love the way he plays the game. He was in town this past week. There were people that came out just to see him. What do you think that makes him so unique? I mean, he seems like a one of one in terms of athletes these days. Just a freak of nature.
Well, he's obviously the unicorn. He's the best player in baseball. CC Sabathia said he's the best player to ever play the game.
Better than his teammate, huh?
I think for the sample size of what he does, he's you got to say he's, arguably the best player to ever play it for the sample size. He's a top 5 pitcher in the game. He's a top 5 hitter in the game. That makes you the best player in baseball. That easily makes you the best player in baseball. And then you got to talk about markets. He's loved everywhere he goes in the United States. And then he goes and he has 130 million Japanese fans, the whole country, for him. Everybody's an Angels fan. When I was there, everybody is Shohei Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, Ichiro is God. Ichiro's global.
What's the
Ichiro
pecking order? What's the pecking order there?
Right now, I would still say Ichiro because he is just the old school. Sadahara O is still the dude too, because they are all about hierarchy. You know what I mean? They respect that. They really, really respect that, and I love that. Here, in America, it's more about who's hot the last week. I'ma love the best. Over there, it's like, nah, this guy's here, this guy's here. Even like Ichiro. Ichiro goes up to these guys that they're older, he bows to them and all that kind of stuff because it's about respect. But I still got Ichiro and then Shohei. But Shohei, I think, is just in the United States right now, he's bigger than Ichiro because of just he does everything and everybody wants to see him every single night, everywhere. All the Japanese fans. I wish there was something we can do to see the attendance of Japanese fans across the United States when they go on the road, because obviously you're going to get more in New York, more in Japan, and in Boston, Toronto, Chicago, maybe Miami. They travel. I was surprised how many Japanese fans were at the WBC. There were so many Japanese fans. People want to just see him over their own team.
Oh yeah, the night he pitched in Baltimore, all these people came out of the woodwork asking me for tickets, and I didn't realize he was pitching that night. And then I realized why I had so many sudden friends that I hadn't heard from in a long time. Real quickly, one last point regarding Ohtani. How well do you know the man, and how well does he speak English? Because I've heard bits and pieces.
Well, I don't know him great. I know him on a surface level. We've hung out a few times at MLB parties and, around the business. We have the same agent, and, my agent is tied to him like like a garter belt, okay? He is tied to him, and it's beautiful because, it's a business. And, I've talked to multiple people in the game, and I was like, why doesn't my agent call me anymore? Why don't we talk? And it's like, hey, that's not a bad thing. It's just like, it's the business. You did your work for him. You guys work together. If you call him, of course, he pick up the phone, but it's on to the next one. And right now, Ohtani is the unicorn, and hey, he's about to garner such a large contract. So I'm just like, hey, focus. But no, he speaks perfect English. I'm not gonna say he can obviously go and maybe quote rap lyrics, but no, he can. I guarantee you, he can go out and go to a restaurant and completely have a complete conversation, which we've had. Obviously, I'll always approach him in Japanese because that's just respectful. And but no, he speaks very good English. Kikuchi speaks fantastic English, by the way. Surprised the hell out of me. I was like, Hajime Mashite was like, how'd you like Japan? I'm like, oh damn, that's okay. Yu Darvish, perfect English. And Masataka Yoshida.
Ichiro spoke English.
Perfect English. And
just didn't want to speak with the media, right?
Well, it's because of emotion. They talk in different emotion, so it's not like, they can get across how they really feel. So it's easier just to talk in Japanese because we'll be like, man, this is some bull, man. I should have did this. They don't speak like us. They don't have that emotion. So it's a lot easier for them to just say it in their customary language and customary emotion.
All right, there we have it regarding the great Ichiro, who will, of course, be a part of the All-Star game. Unbelievable.
My teammate.
All right, time now to head into the world of social media. Sometimes it's a cesspool. Sometimes there's some nice things said. And it's our Socially Speaking segment where we answer a tweet or a social media post. Again, you can reach us via social media at Adam Jones Pod, at Adam Jones Pod. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts 5 stars to qualify for a Miss Shirley's gift card and send us the evidence. Now, this week, our tweet comes from at Bill Kirchhausen. He tweeted in, Adam, and keep it friendly.
How do you get names like that?
It's a very unusual name, but it's Bill _ Kirchhausen is the way it's spelled to me. Maybe I mispronounced it. If I did, I apologize, Bill. But he tweeted in, "What's your favorite Buck story?" And I'm going to say that you can repeat on what is a family podcast.
I think a good story was, it's a public story. It was when he had us over at his house. And it was, I believe it was like 15 or 16 or something like that. And he had us over at the whole team at his house in North End, Texas. And obviously he's a hard ass. We all know him to be, stern and just, he's stern because he wants to win. He's stern between the lines. He's not stern outside the lines. And there was like the first time ever, I think a lot of people got to see him with his hair down, with him just, in his comfort zone, in his flannel and in his cowboy boots, not in, high water baseball pants and his hand in his front pocket. I think people got to see him just down to earth in his own environment with his dogs, with his family, everybody over there eating barbecue and just having a good time in his space. Again, he's not, a player, a former retired player who is 30, mid-30s, even early 40s or something like that. He's, 60-year-old man, a grandfather to be shortly thereafter, invite us into his space. Like, that doesn't happen that often.
I was going to say, that's unique.
Exactly, especially to, unless it's, again, it's friends his age, generally not someone of our age. Again, it's the team, so it's a little bit different, but, he just let us in a different way and let us know that, like, we're family here. And I think it was an eye-opening experience for all of us. And, we played like a group, like a family, but it just brought us closer to a group. And, that I think just him letting his hair down was always something that stuck out with me because, when he signed in Baltimore, people texting me, he's an asshole, he's a tough ass, he's gonna berate you, he's gonna do this. He said to me, "Hey man, I need you to do one thing for me. Play hard and be prepared."
He was a man of his word.
What more do I need to be told? I need you to he understood the physical. Like, be prepared. Again, grind it out. I don't need you. Obviously, the between the lines is tough, but be prepared. Like base running mistakes. Oh, what? You couldn't stand that. Throwing to the wrong base. What? Kick? What? Things like that. Like, just be prepared. Look at what's going on. And he let his hair down for all of us, and I think that was, a lot of people there, especially the older guys, the veterans at the time, were just like, it's a little different. The young guys were still on it. I better not spill nothing on Buck's couch. We were just like, man, Buck got us at the crib. All right, man, I'm gonna leave the dishes all on the counter then. I can.
That's an awesome story, Bill. Thanks for that question. I had never heard that story before.
Yeah.
All right. As always, we wanted to acknowledge our dedicated and loyal sponsors. Couldn't do this podcast without the following folks supporting us.
The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by Be More Around Town, which is now booking for their #Orange road trips to Atlanta, Wrigley Field, San Francisco, which includes a pit stop in Napa Valley, and Yankee Stadium, among others. Learn more now at BeMoreAroundTown.com. By the very respected folks at the Weinman Company. By Hollywood Casino Perryville. To some, it's a game of chance, but for you, it's a game of choice. Hollywood and Barstool are bringing you more ways to bet in Maryland. Catch all the action in person at Hollywood Casino Perryville at the Barstool Sportsbook, or bet online with the Barstool Sportsbook app. When you download the Barstool Sportsbook app, register and wager, and you can get up to $1,000 bonus cash. Plus, get up to $1,000 when you sign up and wager in person at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Play from anywhere and get up to $2,000. The choice is yours. Must be in the state of Maryland to wager and over 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgambling.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. By Jack Daniels, 2 legends, 1 can. Jack and Coke, the #1 cocktail in the world, is now available in a can. Yes, it's true. Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar are now both available in a can. 2 legends, 1 can. Jack and Coke. Ready to drink? Please drink responsibly. Whiskey Specialty, 7% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, Lynchburg, Tennessee. By G-Leaf Medical Cannabis Company. Visit gleaf.com. gleaf.com offers free delivery. Medical cannabis is for Maryland patients only. And the Baltimore Banner. The Banner is offering 6 6 months of unlimited digital access for only $1. To get started, visit thebaltimorebanner.com/AJ.
Also, thanks to senior executive producer Chip Franklin, who skipped this past week's Zoom meeting, which made it 15 minutes shorter, and that's why we love Chip. Wondering what he looked like. Hey, listen, be kind, be real, be like Chip, or choose not to be, and be more. Be back next week for another episode of the Adam Jones Podcast.